losing to the Houston Rockets by double-digit points. A loss in which the Bulls just did not look good in, giving up big first and third quarters to the Houston Rockets. We're going to break it all down and talk about it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
This was a tough loss by the Chicago Bulls, and I already see somebody in the chat talking some this loss was 100% on Vooch. I don't know what game you watch, but no, it was not. This game got lost by the Bulls' lack of defensive rotation, the constant switching and getting caught up in switches, the allowing that and the Houston Rockets were just extremely hot, hitting just tough shots that were defended very well, but outside of that, it was not just 100% on any one player. This Bulls team did not play up to defensively to how they've been playing the last couple of games. They got really solid contributions from Goran Dragic and Kobe White off the bench. Even Andre Drummond, I'll give him a solid contribution as well. 8 points, 9 rebounds from him. But this was a game, our big three did not play together like we've been seeing. They did not pass the ball as well in certain stretches. They did not have the effective shooting performances that they've had either. Zach LaVine, 9 of 19. Nikola Vucevic, 4 of 13. DeMar DeRozan, the only one of the big three above 50% shooting. He was 11 for 18 in this game. This was not a solid game at all. When you look at the defensive side of the ball, the Bulls get out-rebounded as well by 10 rebounds. That's a huge discrepancy. And that's what I pointed out in our pregame show that we talked about, is that the Bulls could not let the Houston Rockets, which are the 4th best rebounding team in the NBA, out-rebound them. That's just, the Bulls did not play as a team. They didn't defend well. They didn't execute anything well. They just did not. And then on top of that, Billy Donovan, again, one of the things I've been pointing out is not just players, but the coaching staff have been doing pretty good. This game, Billy Donovan with the constant switching and that scheme, it just did not work at all. It didn't. And this effort was not it, right? And like I said before, I didn't even expect the Bulls to just run the table and win all these games back to back to back, right? But I did expect them to play with some heart, right? To play with some level of focus. We didn't see it. This was a game, for example, that it seemed like we were missing the energy of Alex Caruso, Javonte Green, and Derrick Jones Jr. Now, that's not an excuse, because this team has shown and proven that they can still play pretty well without it. But they just did not do any of that. That's like, they didn't do any of that. They didn't execute. They didn't play well. They didn't have the energy. They looked flat out there. You wouldn't have thought that they were a team coming in off 2 days of rest at that, and they're going to be home for the next week to week and a half. You did not feel that at all from the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, yet again, giving a disappointing-ass performance at home. It's currently sitting, what? I think it's now, don't give me the line. They're 7-8 at home on the season. That's not going to cut it for this team that is trying, if they still are trying, to get above 500. The coaching was crap. The play was crap. The defense was crap. The offensive execution had some flashes, but in the large part was crap. This is not a loss we can just blame on one person. The Bulls, 48% overall from the field, 37% from three-point range, 71% from free throw range. Like I said, they get out-rebounded by 12. They did have 27 assists on 45 made baskets. That's pretty good. Only 8 turnovers in the game for the Chicago Bulls. That's pretty good as well. But if you watch this game, regardless of what the box score tells you, this was a game in which not just were players extremely hot on the Houston Rockets side of the ball, the Bulls just did not have the energy. The Houston Rockets looked like the younger team. They looked like the more focused team. They better executed. It just is what it is. It sucks, man. 3-game winning streak all goes downhill to a team with 9 wins. Now 10 wins because they defeated you. This is what is, and I said it on the pre-recorded episode today, this is what is so wild about the Chicago Bulls team, is that they can lose to anyone. I wouldn't even be surprised if they come back and when we play Milwaukee, they give in a hell of an effort and they beat Milwaukee, right? And then that cleanses the palate again. But this team needs to learn how to take care of the lesser teams that should be below them. But everything worked out in the Houston Rockets' favor. The Houston Rockets 55% overall from the field, 38% from three-point range. They out-rebounded us by 12. They got 7 steals. They had 28 assists on 50 made baskets. They had 12 turnovers, 5 blocks from them in this game. The Chicago Bulls, I get it, and maybe another team means needed. Maybe need to do it once every 4 games. I don't know, because this was not the same team that we've seen the last couple of games. Now, when you put it in perspective as well, they really won the last couple of games on some last-minute buckets, right? They won it on some last-minute buckets. That's tough, bro. And that's especially when you look at how the Bulls and them out and they started the first 2 minutes of that third quarter going up by 7. And it seemed like, hey, this Bulls team about to go ahead and put this away like we thought and knew that they could. But the Houston Rockets just said, nah, not today, right? Not today. And the Bulls just did not execute well enough. That's it. Let's go ahead and get into the comments. Kanan Peacock says, Kobe was our only bright spot. Goran Dragic as well. There were some other bright spots. Just Patrick Williams, I think, was a bright spot defensively and offensively, but Kobe White was the best player on the court today. This was a bad loss. That start was so mediocre. They did climb back in. The Rockets start shooting like aimbot. I don't know what that is. Even contested threes were going in. Yeah, that's what I said. It's not all just bad defense, but a lot of it was. Alana says, heart broke after a good-ass snap. Well, hey, welcome back to reality. Emmanuel says the switches on defense hurt us big time. Big time. Keith Don't Miss says leave it to the Bulls to lose to a 9-win team. Crazy. This is why you can't take this team seriously, even if they were on a 9-game winning streak. Reality sets in and this roster needs to be retooled. Well, like I said before, the Houston Rockets have beat a lot of – go look at the Houston Rockets' last 12 games. They've beaten a lot of good teams in that stretch, and not teams that were just not trying to beat them either. But as we've said before, this Bulls team does need to add something. I don't know how deep the retool is going to go. I think some people have got their expectations too high if you think it's going to be a complete retool. But man, this is wild. This just in, the Rockets just hit another open jump shot on the Bulls. Yeah, they just hit 3 more as well. The Bulls are exactly who I thought they were. They were who we thought they were. That's crazy, man. This team is wild. Alana says also refs sucked ass, even though I know it was mainly us, but still. Oh yeah, the refs definitely sucked. The officiating definitely sucked in this. Bathlord Payne says, facts, Haize, when we were blowing coverage, goddamn Rockets were flamethrowers. It's statistically weird how mediocre shooting teams can shoot with hands in the face against us constantly. It's wild, right? It's some type of curse that has been cursed upon this franchise that everybody that they face are just going to go unconscious from three-point range, right? It's literally, we've been cursed. I don't know what Chicagoan that somebody pissed off and voodoo was cast upon this team. I still blame Tristan Thompson. I'm sure one of the people Tristan Thompson then knocked up put a curse on this franchise while he was on this team, and it's just staying here. It had to be. It had to be, because this is crazy. Luke Moore says, I love what Kobe's bringing to this team this season. Highly agree with you there, brother. Highly agree with you. Brandon L. Jet says, I won't be surprised if DeMar and Zach both get fined for criticizing refs. The NBA has to do something. And this is, again, not just against the Bulls. For people who watch a lot of NBA games, they'll know that officiating has been strange this whole – see, I will not be surprised at all if 25 years from now, they look back and now and say they uncover that there is some mass conspiracy to shave points by referees this season. Because I watch a lot of NBA games, and it's been a lot of wild officiating at times. Haize, why is every time Bulls come off a 2 or 3 day break, they forget how to play basketball? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Play all 82 all in back-to-back 82 days. I don't know. I don't know what to say, bro. I have no idea. Nah, fam, ain't no way. Kevin Porter ain't never played like this, fam. Ain't no way. Man, I'm telling you, we got some type of mystical curse against us, bro. I'm telling you. D-Dub says, Haize, I'm speechless. I had some renewed optimism after the previous 2 games, but that's it for the window. We haven't learned to guard the 3-point line better. So many wide open threes for Houston. Well, D-Dub, keep in mind, right? Let's say this 3-game winning streak in this, right? That's still 3-1. Let's say the Bulls beat Milwaukee, right? At that point, they're 4-1 in their last 5. So it's not like it's all out the window, but the Bulls got to wake up, bro. Like, this team has to figure out how to keep up a consistent level of play. I know Alex Caruso were gone. I know Javonte Green was gone. I know Derrick Jones Jr. was gone. And those are all players that are important to your defense, important to the energy of the team. I get that. But this team has shown an ability to have a certain level of defensive standard even without those players being in, and we did not meet those at all. Shout out to the Rook for getting some minutes today outside of garbage time minutes. Shout out to that. I don't know if that's a sign of things to come when it comes to Billy Donovan. If, playing minimal minutes and he's trying to see how Dalen Terry did. Dalen Terry, 7 minutes in this one, didn't take any shots, but he did register 1 rebound. I don't know what that says about it, especially if Javonte and Derrick Jones Jr. or Alex Caruso are going to miss some more extended time. But, man, it leaves a lot to be desired, man. A lot to be desired with the way that this team lacked execution today. Same old Chicago that have us feeling good. They think like this, but I should not be surprised about it. You shouldn't be. Look, I said it. Even I was very optimistic, but I said to this team, it's hard to predict wins with this team. This team can lose to anybody. Yulia, some of our guys played really well, but overall as a team, we make scoring look hard, but other teams just throw the ball up and score easily. We need to work on the teamwork on both defense and offense. Couldn't agree with you more, Yulia. You're right on point with that one. Vern, we keep playing down to competition. Bro, you sing it to the goddamn choir on that one. My patience is running thin right now. Look here, I understand that Billy Donovan should have made more adjustments, but this game should have been us coming out balls to the wall. First off, bro, don't talk about your balls with me. Second, no, I'm just fucking with you. Bro, this is a disappointing loss. There's no way around it. This loss is extremely. I don't care if the Bulls do win the next 2 in a row. Shout out to them, but they got to figure out a way to keep up a level of play, bro. They could have been looking ahead. I guess so. Like I said, they got a tough stretch from the next game until January 15th. It's a tough stretch for the Chicago Bulls, and that's going to be the stretch that the Bulls can either climb their way back into the play-in or they're out of the playoffs. I'm telling you right now. Mark my words and what I'm saying to you guys right now. By January 15th, we're going to know everything. That's it. That's the last stand for the Chicago Bulls. From December 28th we play the Golden State Warriors on January 15th. That's it. I don't give a damn what comes afterwards. I don't care how easy the schedule is after the season. If this Bulls team can't fix the bullshit by January 15th, if we're not at least I will say this, if the Bulls are 1 to 2 games under 500 by January 15th, my optimism is renewed. But if they are still 4, 5, 6 games below 500 at that point, it's done. You don't even worry about it. It's done. We can start going ahead and planning what we're going to do with our offseason. I'll start my draft coverage because it's not going to be pretty for that. It's not going to be pretty. Carlos says emotional roller coaster. That is the life of a Bulls fan. It's an emotional roller coaster, bro. This loss is 50% on players for not playing hard and understanding that they are in no position to take teams lightly, then 50% on Billy for not making adjustments properly again. I got to agree with you. That's why we can never place the blame on just any one aspect, one player, or anything. Zach looked good. What game were you watching, Ali? I mean, he looked good in some stretches, but I ain't going to throw him no bell when you shoot 9 of 19. I mean, when he was attacking the rim, he did look good, and I wish he would go back to that a little bit more. But Zach took some very ill-advised shots in this game. Not as much early in the shot clock, which I will give him credit for, because I was killing him when he was taking shots with 18 seconds left on the shot clock. But there were absolutely times where it was getting late in the shot clock, and Zach had an opportunity to either pass it or try to drive it, and he settled for that step-back 3. Zach LaVine needs to start realizing that teams are giving him that step-back 3 because they don't trust that he can hit it. And he hasn't hit it at a high clip yet. He did at one point in his career, but it hasn't been falling for him yet. When he puts pressure on defenses by making them guard him and making them guard his speed and that quick first step to get to the bucket, that's when he'll start getting to the free throw line. That's when he'll start getting on nights where he doesn't have a shot. We'll still start seeing him score 25 points because he'll probably have at that point 11 free throws, which he's a great free throw shooter. He needs to start doing those. The settling for the step back three, that's not it for you this season, Zach. And it may become back a weapon in his arsenal. But while he's still getting his legs back under him, that's not the shot for you, bro. That's not the shot for you. I'm not a huge fan, a huge Billy fan at all, but the effort to me is on the players. These guys are supposed to be pros. It's their damn job to give effort. But if you watch the game, Blah, you know it was more than just effort. Now, the effort did play a part. Well, I'm not throwing them any bell on the lack of effort. There's absolutely a lack of effort out there, but it wasn't just all lack of effort there, brother. It wasn't all that. Jihad, I wouldn't be surprised if tanking isn't much more mischievous act than we assume. I firmly believe the Bulls are tanking for a top pick. Well, Jihad Dean, you'd be wrong because the Bulls don't own their own first round pick outright. And if they were tanking for it, the Bulls have already shot themselves in the foot to get a top 4 pick. The Bulls would basically they've already won too many games to try to get a clear cut top 4 pick. So that no, they're not taking for that. And they don't, if it's not in the top 4, it goes to the Orlando Magic. This is not the year to tank. If they are doing that, they're a bunch of fucking idiots. That's what I'll tell you. A bunch of idiots. DeRozan ain't it either. Oh no, DeRozan definitely ain't it. Like he has his faults as well. He played pretty good in this game, and I will say this. I've been killing DeMar DeRozan for his lack of defensive ability. I would say DeMar gave effort defensively today. He wasn't always successful in that effort, and sometimes as fans, we need to realize there's a difference between playing tough D and a player hitting a tough shot. Because sometimes you'll see fans say, oh, well, they must have played terrible D because they hit this amount of shots. Listen, DeMar rotated out. DeMar kept his head up. I would say DeMar is never going to be the best on the ball defender, but off ball, he didn't get blown up as many times as what he has in some games. And he was the best player offensively tonight, other than Kobe White. But I mean, it's a strict, far difference between scoring 31 points and 14. But it just, man, but yeah, DeMar isn't abstained from critique as much as some fans would have you believe. DeMar DeRozan definitely has played a part in the Bulls sucking this season. Kobe played well, though. I was happy to see that. That's from watching with Winter. Completely agree with you, Winter. Kobe, the effort that Kobe gives defensively now is it's so night and day. Keep in mind, Kobe White had the highest plus minus on the team. 14 points, all of those points coming in the second half. And he had a plus minus of 17, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Kobe White was out there, but no turnovers from Kobe White. 5 of 9 overall from the field, 4 of 8 from 3-point range. This is the type of game you want. Matter of fact, if Kobe White can give similar production to this every single night, that's what you want him to be. That's what you want Kobe White to be. It's not necessarily what we wanted in him when we originally drafted him and thought we were going to get a starter. But after all that hype goes away and he just is who he is as a player, that's the perfect type of stat line for Kobe White. Patrick Williams also in this game. I told you guys when Patrick Williams gets double-digit shot attempts, he's a beast. In this game, 5 for 10 from the field, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, no turnovers. Solid game from Patrick Williams as well. But he didn't shine in the way that Kobe White shined. The sad part is everyone that comes against the Bulls embarrass them, like how you say blood in the water and everybody tries them. If this was the old Bulls, they would have been fighting right. No. Come on. I think we overlooked that team. No teams are fighting right now. All these NBA players, don't nobody want to throw no punches. Ain't nobody fighting. The Ultimate Rage says another dud of a performance, bro. Yeah. Chris, disappointed, lost look like the Bulls didn't want to play today. Ugly, man. Ugly. The Bull says, hey, Haize, I'm sorry this really sucks. I'm really disappointed with this team. Why did Billy D get an extension? The lack of effort kills me. The younger teams kill us with athleticism and effort every single time. I don't even want to say every single time, but that definitely was a part in this today, for sure. Big T, Vooch needs a power forward that can attack off the pick all night, drain that man's energy. No backside help. We need some size. Again, the issue isn't. I don't think the issue is Patrick Williams being the power forward. I think it's how he's used. Patrick Williams is shown, right? I told you guys. I went over the numbers. When he's in position, Patrick Williams is in like the 90th percentile as far as offensive and defensive rebounders. He just isn't in position very often because of how he's used and how he plays. He's growing as a shot blocker and rim protector. I still don't think that adding a power forward that really changes much for this team by the way that Billy Donovan uses the power forward. Curtis already talked about this. This loss isn't entirely on one person at all. It just isn't. Why do y'all say, like, okay, what makes you think they're going to give up De'Aaron Fox? What in the world makes you think that they're like, oh my God, that just this blind trade for this? What? Stop smoking the dope, bro. Stop smoking that dope. Chris says, I wouldn't be surprised if DeMar asked for a trade. Well, fuck him if he does. All right, cool. Move the fuck on. Jalen Green play like prime Curry. Hey, listen, I can't argue with that at all, bro. Can't argue with that at all. Juan Miller says, I'm genuinely not being negative, but now I'm convinced it's time for a rebuild. Well, it's not going to happen. Rebuild ain't coming. DeMar got to stop crying every time he doesn't get a foul call. Just hit the damn shot. If not, get the damn rebound. Debo, I feel you, bro. Follow your shots, right? How many times did Stacey King say that a game? Follow your shots. I skipped work for this game. Never skip work for a game, bro. The only time you should ever skip work for a game is if it's the finals or a playoff game. I'll give you if it's a playoff game. Second round, I damn give you a playoff game. Jay Reed, no, it's not. Did you watch the game? The only way that I can see somebody saying that the only person to blame for this loss is Vucevic if they just looked at the box score or don't comprehend or understand basketball very well. I'm sorry, that's an idiotic take. I'm just going to be flat out. That's a stupid ass take. You could not have possibly watched this game, or if you did watch it, you don't comprehend basketball very, very well if you're blaming this only person you're blaming this loss on Vooch. I'm sorry, that's a dumbass statement. That's all I can say to that. That's a dumbass statement. I seen absolutely nothing to deserve a max contract. He's not even the best player. Oh, you're a fucking idiot too. I'm moving on. John Dean says, damn, we're screwed. That's funny. DJ Lovelace keeps saying weird shit, and you always know that when somebody just has a dumbass avatar like that and just keeps saying whatever, that they're looking for attention, so I got it for you. Here goes your attention. Haize, you look like you get your hands, balled up in the hood, ready to swing at any Bulls player who talks. Oh, bro, listen, this is why I couldn't be a coach, right? I tried it. I tried coaching. Unless you're going to give me permission to choke your kid, I can't coach nobody, bro, because I can't do lack of effort. I can do lack of skill. If you just don't have the skill, that's cool. When you don't have effort, I just want to smack everybody. I just want to smack everybody. And that's in any form. I'm a manager at work. I be wanting to smack the shit out of my employees when I know they ain't doing shit that they need to do. Patrick Williams was confident up until last season. Patrick Williams' motto is literally direction, speed. We have been a terrible fan base for new talent. I mean, listen, the thing that I've said before is that people who criticize and talk about Patrick Williams, then they don't understand basketball. Because if you actually watch these games, you see the flashes in Patrick Williams. He's just not used to the best of his ability. Great point here. Bad communication, no communication on defense. All right, I got to get rid of this idiot DJ Lovelace. He's just being a fucking dumbass. And you're just being annoying. You got to go. Stop trying to get over in the chat. That ain't dope. That's glue. Stop sniffing glue, people. Not gonna lie. Stacey King said he doesn't want to coach. He said he doesn't want to coach. Easy jumps, and you are a bum ass of a commentator because, again, I can tell you didn't watch the game if that's your take. I can 100% tell you don't watch the game if that's your take. Yeah, the only person to blame was Vooch. He totally screwed up the spacing on the floor by staying on the perimeter. He refused to get any rebounds and lacked the effort. No. No. And that's the thing. You did not watch the game. You did not watch the game if that's your thing. That was not it. He didn't screw up the spacing on the floor. That was not like it's wild how many people talk about basketball but don't understand basketball. That's really crazy to me. I swear to God, it's okay to just watch something and not talk about it if you don't understand it. I swear to you know what? I don't talk about astrophysics here because I don't fucking understand it. You feel me? It's easy just not to talk about shit you don't understand. If you look at the box score and you say, oh, Vooch scored 10 points, it must be all on Vooch. Shut the fuck up. That's it. It's really not that hard, fam. Like, it's really, if you don't understand something, shut the fuck up. Like, what is so hard? If you don't know something, this is the problem with social media and the internet nowadays. It's giving too many people an avenue to talk about shit they don't fucking know what the fuck they talking about. It's wild. Just sit down. If you're a spectator, sit down, watch it, and shut the fuck up. It's really not that hard. It's really not that hard. Like seriously. Like, I don't understand what chemical imbalances. Go take some Focus Factor. They got Ritalin. Take a fucking Xanax. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Because if you're sitting in here saying dumbass shit, it's like, what the fuck? It's real easy to shut the fuck up. Like, it's really not hard. Jay Reed, I wouldn't have to explain to you. Listen, you can't, I can lead you to water. I can't make you drink. I explained it at the top of the show. Go back. I explain basketball every fucking day. If you've been around here long enough and you don't understand basketball still, I can only teach you so much, fam. I can't teach you I can explain it to you. I can't comprehend it for you. I can't do it. I can't comprehend it for you, bro. You got that is a journey you got to talk to your God about and figure it the fuck out, bro. That's it. You don't pay me enough for this shit. Haize, you a better man than me. Some of the idiots in your chat make me want to get off the stream. Bro, I feel you, man. It be making me want to get off the stream, and it's my goddamn stream, bro. Like it's wild, bro. Like it's like, come on, fam. Like, y'all can't be this stupid. I know y'all mama paid for the expensive Similac. Like, I know it. That shit is supposed to help with brain development. What the fuck went wrong with you at infancy to where you can't understand simple motherfucking concepts? What the fuck happened, bro? And then they be like, explain it to me. Bitch, no, you need to ask your mama why she didn't give a fuck about your brain development. That's who needs to be explaining shit to you, not me here on this show. Sit down with your mama, have a heart-to-heart, sit her down and be like, mama, why didn't you give a fuck about my brain development? You sitting there shaping my motherfucking head, you ain't developed my brain. What the fuck is wrong with people? Come on, man. Come on, bro. Y'all got to do better than this, man. Y'all got to do better than this. Facts, Haize. That social media crap. Turn the hat around, bro. We need Petty. Petty Roosevelt is in retirement right now, bro. Petty Roosevelt is in retirement. I haven't been Petty Roosevelt all fucking season, man. Come on, bro. Haize, I feel like this would have been the perfect game for Derrick Jones Jr. Javonte to come in and change the energy to help us. I absolutely agree with you on that one, bro. Absolutely agree with you. My mom had us on Hooked on Phonics. That, bro, like, that shit is crazy. Like, but it helped, right? Like, it helped. Hey, listen, this is what I can say to you, bro. This not a temper tantrum. This is coming from the person who just left 15 comments. Oh, it's Vooch. Oh, it's DeMar. Bitch, you don't even know what the fuck you want to complain about. This ain't an opinion. This is me being tired of dumbasses like you sitting there with your dumbass Abby when your mama should have spanked your ass. So now I got to do it. This ain't a temper tantrum. This is me being fed up of your idiocracy. You're a fucking idiot. How about that? You're a fucking idiot and your mama was a whore. That's the problem here right now. Is people be in here talking too much when you need to be worried about your mama's pussy mileage. That's what the fuck you need to be worried about. Because that bitch is ran through. Worry about that shit. Here you go, Haize. Have a shot on me. You definitely need it tonight with these idiots. That's from Brandon L. Jet. Shout out to the OG. The one good thing about these L's is Petty coming out on the people in the chat. You already know, bro. Nah, bro, you just say some shit and act like people should go with it. That's a fact, man. These people stupid, bro. Eddie Bow, let me tell you this right here. This is my shit, right? Let's be clear here. This shit that you in right now, I built this. Now, let me not go into the Franklin thing. I built this. I don't need to slow down. You need to catch the fuck up or get the fuck up out of here. This is my shit. I'm not motherfucking CHGO. I'm not motherfucking even locked on. I'm not here to cater to none of these motherfuckers in here. This is Chicago Bulls Central. That's what this is. I built this shit. Me, JDH, Brandon L. Jet, fucking Jahad Dean, Matthew, JDH. We're the motherfuckers who built this shit. If your name ain't those motherfuckers, you ain't got no room to tell me to slow down with shit. How about that? Now, with that being said, let's get back to basketball. I love you, bro. You know that. I'm a long-time viewer, but come on, man. Those inside. No, there's not too far. I don't give a fuck. This is my shit. I'll go as far as I need to go. If I'm going to destroy, I'm going to destroy completely. How about that? Hey, Mingo said, I just asked my wife if she got the good milk because I swear something is wrong with my youngest. That's crazy, bro. That's funny. Can players ask for a trade? If so, will the Bulls grant that to them? I worry if Caruso, Levine, DeMar, even Javonte will want out to be on a contending team. Thoughts? I mean, yeah, any team can ask for a trade. They don't necessarily have to bend their will to it. So we'll see. Now, first of all, Josh, your name is Josh. Shut the fuck up. You don't want motherfucker in my comments almost when somebody weak. How about you come see me, motherfucker? How about that? Matter of fact, you send me an email, I'll send you my address, and we can see who's fucking weak. Don't try that shit with me. This ain't internet shit. I'll kill your motherfucking ass if you come test me. How about that? Test me if you want to. Ain't shit phony or fake around this motherfucker. The same motherfucker I am behind this mic is the same motherfucker that will show up when you knock on my door and beat that ass. How about that? Don't ever try me. That's one thing nobody can ever do with me. Is try. I'm not any different off the internet than I am on, bro. Now, with that being said, let's keep it going. Hi, bro. How you doing? I'm doing good, Jimmy. How you doing today, bro? We should feed the ball more to Vooch and this. I completely agree with you, bro. Completely agree with you. David Healy says, we got 9.7K. Let's go, Haize. Did we hit it? Let's go and look. I'm sure some people unsubscribed since I went off when they asked. We had 9,708. That's what's up. That's what's up. Vader says, "King about basketball. We've had enough cheeks clapped with this dog shit game tonight. We definitely got our cheeks clapped today. Definitely got the cheeks clapped today." I almost got up and fought a Persian army right now. That's from Giovanni. Y'all hilarious. Jamoy says, Bulls can possibly go 2-7 in their next 9 games. No need to blow the team up. We suck as is and could get in the top 4 of the draft as constructed. Hey, that's a aspect I never thought about it with, but keep in mind, like, even then, the Bulls, it's going to be real hard for the Bulls to tank this season, and not necessarily that it makes a lot of sense. But, you know, like I said, by January 15th, we're going to know everything. It's going to be time to sink or swim by then, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Literally, Haize 0.5 seconds ago, cussing out everybody in the chat. Markel, what's going on, bro? Hey, we rocking with Haize. Fuck y'all if y'all don't ever understand. Get out y'all feelings and look at the game for what it is. That's it, bro. That's it. Jimmy, I'm pretty good, except the Bulls didn't have a good game. They gave up too many 3-pointers to the Rockets. It should have never happened. Listen, the Rockets got super hot, fam. Super hot. It's really crazy. Dan Levine dragged to answer that. Do you think this team has discipline issues? I didn't even see it. That's one thing that sucks about this, is that I don't get to see the post-game interviews till after the stream. Bro, you should hear these motherfuckers in the post game. Same, we gotta be consistent. I'm sick of, bro. The Bulls post games, like, it's just, hey, listen, man. Like I said, they really try to gaslight us with saying the right thing, but very rarely translates to the actual court. Goon, Auntie's in the building. Damn, why didn't it pull up her comment? What happened? There it goes. Auntie's in the building. She says, Bulls gotta stop playing around so fucking much. Bulls do too much playing. Yeah, they got to stop playing down the competition for sure. The one contested Jalen Green 3 with 2 seconds left killed the momentum we had. Agree with you, Alana. Hey, still the man with the best Chicago Bulls content out there. I appreciate you, Ali. Even if we don't always agree, right? I appreciate you. Yeah, Goon, were you at the game today? Because we didn't see you at the halftime show. Although Gobert is a better fit on this Bulls team, I believe, than Vooch. He just defend the paint, which would lead to less open threes. I don't necessarily think it's hard to say somebody's a better fit without seeing it, because, again, even when Vooch's shot isn't falling and he's not playing the best defense, his passing really sometimes is the engine that makes the Bulls offense go since Lonzo Ball's not in the game. Now, Gobert isn't a terrible passer. He's not the passer Vooch is, but he's not a terrible passer. We'll see. I mean, he's a much better, like, the defense, the difference in defense is night and day in that part. Vooch is 150% misused by Billy. That's on coaching. We expose him and don't play him to his strengths. I 100% agree with you on that. And we don't really have the players otherwise around him that help him with that. Juan Miller said you'd be at 10K if the Bulls. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If the Bulls had the start of the season that they had last season, we'd be at 10K by now. But that's just kind of what comes with the territory. I've never seen Petty. I thought this was. Oh no, this isn't Petty Roosevelt. No, this isn't Petty Roosevelt. We need to play more together as a team. Sometimes it looks like everyone's playing for that's absolutely a big part of what hurts this team and that's what Goran Dragic said too before the blow up. This team is not playing for each other. They're just not. Billy Donovan's gum, you were being too chewed on, huh, bro? No, but he says, yo, I missed this game. What happened? The Bulls sucked defensively. The switches completely killed them. They got caught out of position. They clearly weren't communicating on the defensive end of the ball. Offensively, I would say the Bulls weren't terrible off, and they weren't good. Like, they weren't as good as what they've looked like offensively at stretches over the last 3 wins. But I think the offense would have been enough to win this game if the defense just was better, and it wasn't. Zanny Fresh says, glad I slept through this one, bro. Like, you didn't miss anything. I guarantee you your dream was better than watching this game, so you're good. I think this team might need to move Vooch for defense. It's not about him, but it's about the fit. Just to think about when the Celtics traded Kemba for Horford to fix their defense. I mean, but they also had their offense was built around 2 players that were also two-way players. It's very different. But like I said before, you never know. Like, bringing in a different player could completely change the outlook, but then we'd have to trust Billy Donovan to still use those players to the best of their ability, which is a big question there. Like, I have a question on, no matter what talent Chicago Bulls bring in, how is Billy really going to use those talents with his coaching? So David says, this game was so hard to watch of the lack of effort. Reminded me of Jim Boylan. Ooh, that's a tough comparison. Not tough because you're wrong, but tough because of the PTSD that comes along with it. Y'all welcome to start your own YouTube channel if you don't agree or have a different opinion. I did. Shout out to Gary in the building. Gary's dope. I like Gary. I love DeMar, but I would trade him for someone who spaces the floor better and have Vooch play a role like Jokic where we play through him and he can make passes when the D folds. That's from Jake. Jake, not to say that I necessarily agree with trading DeMar, but I do think, and I've said this for over a year now, that when you have a player like DeMar DeRozan who operates strictly in the mid-range, basically, is basically a post player when you look at it, but he plays the 3 position, it just limits what you have to do on your offense with the other positions. It's a very limited thing. Like, if you had a team full of players that could hit the 3, that could space the floor, that pass well, like, honestly, DeMar DeRozan with a 3-point shot, a consistent 3-point shot, this offense will be completely opened up. But because of the nature of how DeMar gets his shots, the offense has to be a specific way. It just has to be. Mike S says, we need Petty Roosevelt to come out and Billy Donovan in these players. Listen, bro. You either got it or you don't, bro. You either got it or you don't. Lil Squad says there was no 5 Javonte Greens out there. Hell, we couldn't get 1 Javonte Green out there. That's one of the issues. Vooch is actually one of the big 3 I would keep. He's willing to move the ball and doesn't get stuck in ISO as much. Vooch is one of those players that usually can fit on any makeup of a team, right? That's why the Bulls went out and got him. He's a good passer. He's a good scorer in the post. But to me, when you look at Vooch and when you look at his skill set, we got to ask the question, not only what he doesn't do as a player, which he isn't the best defensively, and that's correct, but is Billy Donovan even using the skills that Vooch has to their best ability? Maybe you guys think they are. Maybe you guys have a different opinion and think it's more so Vooch's issue. And maybe you're right on that. But what I see when I look at this team is I see a coach that does not use players to their best of their ability. Look at Vooch. Vooch is a player that operates best, not just because he was on a bad team, but because he was the focal point. Not meaning that he had to score every possession, but his basketball IQ was able to be displayed. Look at Patrick Williams, a player that has shown, hey, I'm better with the ball in my hands. I'm better when I operate as a point forward. I can distribute. I can put the ball on the floor. I'm probably the best 3-point shooter on the team right now. And he's forced to stay in the corner most of the times by the nature of the offense. When you look at Ayo Dosunmu, he's a guard, a combo guard that can play point guard, but that's better in up-tempo, pushing the ball, pushing the pace, things like that. He doesn't get a lot of opportunity to do that either. So Billy Donovan isn't a horrible coach. I just think Billy Donovan is a very specific coach that if you give him a roster suited to his sensibilities, he can take that roster far. But he's trying to force this Bulls team, in my opinion, to play a style that isn't necessarily indicative of the skill that the players on this team have. And we're starting to see that definitely hurt the team for sure. Jamoy says, gotta requote you, Haize. By January 15th, we will know all we need to know by then, possibly sooner. Completely agree with you, because if on that stretch they get out and go 0 for 5 on that stretch, we ain't got to wait till January 15th anymore. We have no idea, don't need to worry about it anymore. Los Cruz says, done with this team. Never thought I would be, but I'm good watching these pussies. No heart. Bro, I was there with you, bro. I was there with you a couple of games. I do think they showed some more heart recently, but I can't knock you for feeling the way that you do, bro. I cannot knock you for feeling the way that you do. Dribble, go to your spot, pump fake, shoot or bail pass with 4 seconds remaining, ain't it? Bro, you already know. I've said that before. The one thing you can count on DeMar DeRozan to do is to dribble 15 times and pump 65 times on every possession. You can bet on that. Rain says, the more you look at how the offense is ran, the more you realize Vucevic is not actually the problem. Agree with you, Rain. Completely agree with you. Oh, good question here. Would you rather have Harrison Barnes and go for a playoff run, or Moses Moody for the future? I think if you add a player like Harrison, who's not a perfect player, he's a veteran though. He can fit in almost any system. I think he wouldn't be as a reluctant shooter as some of the players on this team. And I think he would be a more vocal part of this team, being somebody who's won a title before, even though that title run, if I'm not incorrect, he had a good run up to the finals, but then in the finals, he wasn't that good. But with that being said, I wouldn't mind Harrison Barnes on the team. It just, if he comes through a buyout, I don't know necessarily trading for his contract would be the best, considering he doesn't bring everything the Bulls need, but I wouldn't knock Harrison Barnes on this team at all. Easy Jump says, if the Bulls trade DeRozan, what do you think they can get for him? It really depends. The way that I look at it is this, and I could be wrong. You guys let me know your opinion, that most teams that would be interested in trading for DeMar DeRozan, to me, would probably be playoff teams. So that means that the Bulls are, if they get a first-round pick back, at most is going to be in the 20s. Then on top of that, even if that team has a younger player that they can bring over, it's probably not that good of a younger player, because if it was, they wouldn't be trading for a 33-year-old DeMar DeRozan. So looking at that, it's like, not to say that it's a knock on what we can get back for DeMar. I just don't think we're going to get a super big haul back for DeMar DeRozan if we were to trade him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a trade that you still make. You get a first-round pick back, you get a young player, a young talent that maybe you feel you can develop, or maybe even you do get another vet back who just maybe fits on this team better. Maybe not as good of a player as DeMar, but maybe just has a better fit because of skill, of the skill set. I just don't know, bro. I really don't know, man. Haize, what do you think about Dragic starting at the point? I personally feel like they don't start Dragic because they want to keep his minutes kind of minimalized, and they know what he brings coming off the bench. That's just kind of what I think. I could be wrong on that. I wouldn't mind at this point. I wouldn't mind necessarily, as long as Alex Caruso's out, I wouldn't mind taking a look at Dragic maybe for a game. I just think that, that they're trying to kind of keep Dragic's minutes controlled. Look in this game. This is a game in which we were missing Alex Caruso, and Dalen Terry only played 7 minutes. We only went 4 deep on the bench, and Dragic still only played 17 minutes. I just think because of Dragic's age that they just don't want to play him a lot of minutes. So even if he was inserted into the starting lineup, he'd kind of be default Keith Bogans, not in skill set, but in they play him for a stretch, then he's on the bench, then they bring him back in, he starts, he plays for a stretch, and then he's on the bench. I don't really think he'd get very many more minutes in that. How do you feel about Dalen Terry's game tonight? That's from DJ Toro. I don't know, bro. How do you feel about Dalen Terry's game tonight? It's hard to really judge a player's game in 7 minutes. Like, it's really hard. He didn't do much. I do think that he didn't look as out of place as what he looked like earlier in the season. But that's really all I can say to that. Like, he's not. To me, I don't see anything with Dalen Terry that tells me not to let him play a little bit more. That's my opinion. Brian Washington says, everyone's saying trade DeMar, but he's not the problem. The problem is management won't go out and get 2 or 3 more pieces that this team needs. Don't have to break up the team. It's not that easy, Brian. Like, you don't just go out and get pieces. You have to trade players, meaning you still have to send out other players. You don't have unlimited roster spots to where you can just sign 2 or 3 players. So it's easy to say, oh, management, just go get 2 or 3 players we need. It's not that simple. If it was that simple, every team in the NBA would just go get 2 or 3 more players that they needed to fit on their roster. It's not that easy, bro. And for the people that are saying trade DeMar, I think they're just looking at the fact of, like, how many more opportunities other players will get to grow if DeMar wasn't here. Because keep in mind, DeMar DeRozan is 33 years old. He's not the future of your team. And the players that are the future of this team aren't necessarily getting the opportunities to grow their skill set. Not just because of DeMar. That's not only a DeMar thing, right? I'm not just blaming that on DeMar, but I just think that that fans are looking at that in that light, brother. That's add some color to it for you. Sydney Wallace says, Haize, with how this season is going, do you think Acme will consider letting Billy go? Do you think the Bulls are sucking on purpose to get Billy? Well, no, because if they were sucking on purpose to get Billy fired, well, you're talking about the players. If you're talking about the players there, but once a coach gets an extension for several more years, them getting cut is highly, highly unlikely, no matter what happens. Jimmy One, I gotta disagree, bro. And I don't know how long you've been a friend of this franchise. But you have to keep, for most teams, like for the Lakers, they wouldn't care. The Lakers could sign a coach to an extension and they cut the money, they don't care. We're talking about the Chicago Bulls here. Jerry Reinsdorf, keep in mind, and I'm gonna give you guys the perfect example of this, right? You remember when AK and Eversley came on? The owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, tried to convince AK and Eversley to keep Jim Boylan on. This is the same Jim Boylan who killed the confidence of Lauri Markkanen, who clearly lost the team, who hadn't won anything considerably, none of that. And Jerry Reinsdorf wanted AK and Eversley to consider keeping on Jim Boylan. Now, they went ahead and fired him because they wanted to completely reset with their own people. But that's the ownership that we have. And keep in mind here, Billy Donovan, after getting his extension, said that he talks to Jerry Reinsdorf on the phone every single day. Now, when you factor in as well how cheap this team is, when you cut a coach, you still have to pay their contract for the amount of years they had left. If you have been a fan of this franchise for as long as I have been, 30 years of being a Bulls fan, you know there's no way in hell Jerry Reinsdorf is going to pay a coach 4 years, and it could be longer. They said several. He had 1 year left. I look at several. I say it's at least 3. There's no way in hell Jerry Reinsdorf is going to pay a head coach for 4 years to not be here and then pay another head coach that takes over his position. It's not going to happen, bro. Yes, there's a possibility of it, but let's talk about it in the framework of this franchise. This franchise ain't going to do that, bro. It's not going to happen. Disagree, unfortunately. Billy locked up, and that's what it is for the foreseeable future. Jerry is a very reluctant to spend money. Hey, just echoed exactly what I said, fam. I completely agree with you. Big T, Haize, if we trade, it has to be Green or Jones package with Tony. Both have similar games. Don't need both to diversify the roster with Sharp and... I don't know, bro. Javonte is a possibility. And the reason why I do say that Javonte is a possibility to be traded is because look at what the Bulls have to do this offseason. Resign Ayo, make a decision on Kobe. Javonte's 29. It's his first time in unrestricted free agency. He's gonna get as much money as possible. You may look at it may be, and you may say, hey, let's go ahead. But the only issue is that even in trading Javonte Green, his contract's less than $2 million. You're not going to get, you have to add something back to it. So I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Dre Baker says, P. Will missed Vooch wide open in the paint. He looked at him in the eyes and passed. No, he actually did not look at him. They showed it on the replay. Patrick Williams was focused on DeMar coming. He didn't see Vooch at all. And hopefully Vooch talks to him and they go over that tape because he definitely needs to watch that. He definitely needs to watch it. Oh my God, y'all! And then you got the nerve to say don't sleep. No, bro, you're not woke. You're daydreaming right now. You think you woke, but you really still sleep. Cause no, they're not. They're not doing that, bro. They're. Oh, come on, man. Come on, fam. Come on, man. Build and Levine. Come on, man. What are you talking about, bro? This ain't 2K, bro. In my opinion, with Mike Jones says, yeah, Reinsdorf ain't paying that. LOL, he cheat with the Bulls and the bro. Don't even get me started on the White Sox. Like literally, when I heard Jerry Reinsdorf's quote of like, oh, well, we could do this share because it's not like we're winning baseball games, bro, that was one of the most frustrating things I had ever seen, bro. It's crazy. Jacob, ain't nobody building around Tony. Slap yourself and then come back. That is hilarious. All right, y'all. That's it. Wait. Let me get into this one. What's this? Hello, Haize. From me. This was a disappointing. Hello from me. I overcomplicated it. What's going on, Austin? This was a disappointing L from the Bulls. I'm looking for a bounce back against the Bucks next game. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. But all right, that is it. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in, even though I had to go off on a couple of fools. Thank you so much. Make sure you're following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and our voicemail, the number to do so is 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. We'll also be going live over on Locked On Bulls here next, so go over there if you want to continue the conversation. But like I liked in everything on Go Bulls. Love you guys. See red, y'all, and peace.